Pre-Vatican always we were, the thinking was you leave the world, you renounce the world and you run away to somewhere else. And as if to say, okay, when I was in the world, I did this, I thought that, from that. So today we say very clearly, religious life is not a renouncement of the world, but an immersion. And that comes from the new understanding of Christology, of Jesus. The incarnation, that means, taking flesh and blood into the reality. Baptism, into the Jordan, immersing. So religious life is also, in that sense, immersion in the world. But we know that immersion can be misunderstood. Today when you say immersion into the world means that you become like, not countercultural, but you go along with the present culture of materialism and consumerism. That danger is very much there. But when we talk about immersion into the world, it is incarnational insertion into the realities. Yesterday what we talked about, realities of people made poor. Reality of the earth made poor. Okay. Second one is, earlier, religious life was understood more of a life seeking for perfection, seeking for self-realization. I want to follow Jesus. My aim is, whether I go into the forest or the desert or into the monastery, I want to realize myself. I want to reach the perfection. This was the understanding. Self-realization in isolation. Nothing to do with anybody else. I, me and my God. And I want to reach that stage of perfection. And in India we have many, many examples. The Hindu way of religious life. It would be self-realization, God realization through isolation. Many of them go into the deep Himalayas, sit in a cave for years, no contact with the outside world. They are fully immersed into Brahma, into God realization. This is what religious life, what we call Catholic religious life is not that. But yesterday we remember what one phase of religious life is that God realization, God experience, it's one. And we have many other elements added to it. So that's why we say religious life is, but we are not saying it is not. But this one plus, we had seen that yesterday. Third one, religious life, this is the second phase we had seen yesterday. It is a call to live in communities. That's why from yesterday beginning itself we are emphasizing community is mission. And therefore it is a call to live in communities. We had already seen the biblical, theological aspect of it yesterday. Then, not only live in communities, very nice. We three of us there in Lakshmi Nagar, we are quite happy, make ourselves comfortable, try to understand, accept, affirm, all that. That's one part of it. There's another part of it, that's the apostolic phase. Apostolic phase, we talk about the mission. The mission is to build communities. That is the reign of God. Building communities wherever we are. The parish community, the neighborhood community, whatever way that we can think. Building communities where we have different religions. Then we have to build communities even beyond these religious divisions. So building communities, that is how the reign of God will, become more and more visible. Communities of freedom, fellowship, justice.